All right. Hey, team. Welcome to our weekly Monday Night Huddle. I'm Amber Ike. So excited to see you guys on here tonight. And for those of you catching the recording, welcome, welcome. We did not meet last week because of Thanksgiving. So I'm excited to be back here tonight and share with y'all. We actually don't have very many announcements, but let me share a couple. Who already used the $25 off coupon? I hope each and every single one of you on here has used that, because that is a huge steal for products that we're going to be purchasing anyway. And remember, for those of you who may have a spouse signed up, like that's what I did today. I had to get OB's used because he's, signed up underneath me. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to use his coupon code too. So make sure you guys are using that, because that's a great way to stock up and save some money, or do some giveaways or whatever. And make sure you're reaching out to customers, ambassadors, potentials, all the people, because they've extended it until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard. I know that people had some issues logging in today. It actually did take me quite a while to get into OB's account and get his order placed. I know that there were just tons of people on the virtual back office. And so, but I finally got it done. So if you're having issues, keep trying, stay the course, be persistent, and it will pay off. But remember to type in trim 2017 to actually apply the code. So I think that's actually it for the announcements, you guys. That's like a really quick announcement. Planning some fun things for December, so be on the lookout for all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then I will intro our super fun, amazing guest real quick. But dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for the start of a new week. God, thank you for just, I know that this year is almost over, and I know that we think things are just winding down. But God, the way you work in our lives, Lord, we know that the best is yet to come, God, and that you are just getting started for some of us in this year, and that you have even more in store for us in the month of December than maybe we've even seen this entire year. So God, I just pray that we have expectant hearts, God, that whatever we're waiting on from you, whether it's a relationship issue, whether it's a financial issue, whether it's a health burden or anything under the sun, God, that it is not a surprise to you. God, that you know exactly what we're dealing with, that you know exactly what is weighing on our hearts. And God, I just speak over our team, God, that we are expectant to see you move in our lives, Lord, that we know that our best days are out in front of us, God, and that the things that you have placed in our hearts, they're there for a specific purpose, and not just for our own good and benefit, but God, to hopefully bring you more glory and to point people to you, because inevitably that's what this whole thing is all about, is just giving people hope to turn towards you. So thank you for all that you're doing in our lives, and we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So I'm super excited for tonight. My friend Dawn Andrews is going to be sharing with y'all. And I love Dawn, which you guys probably already know, because we join forces a lot for some team things, and it's always fun working with Dawn. But Dawn is really a great blessing in my life, because it's fun. So literally 2 years ago, you guys, so I remember November of 2015, you guys know my story for the most part. I had been sitting at Senior Ruby for 5,000 years, and I knew Emerald was there, but I knew it was still so far, right? So we had kind of joined forces, Dawn and I and a few other friends, and I remember just feeling like, oh my goodness, like this is going to happen. And this is what happens when you surround yourselves with people who have vision, who have drive, who can see that there's more to life, and just locking arms with Dawn back. I really think probably it was like October, November is when we probably started really talking, of 2015. I remember, I don't want to steal her thunder, but I remember the day she went Emerald, maybe even more. I remember the day I went Emerald for sure. But I remember the day she went Emerald, I know where I was. I know I was with my family at the Butterfly Museum. It sounds kind of stalkerish. But the day she went Emerald was huge for me, because I knew how she had been camping out at Emerald Land too. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is real. like this can really happen for me too. So I love Dawn and her story because it really played a huge pivotal role in me going after it for myself. So without further ado, Dawn Andrews, please share your story, girl. Oh wait, you're muted. The unmuted version. You're still muted.
I was
there you
muted.
are.
Okay, I'm over here whooping and Amber, and I realized you couldn't hear anything I was whooping about. So hi everybody, hello, lovely Amber's team, and like she said, we're Plexus besties, and we've had a really good time working together and locking arms and being sideline partners, and I feel the same way as far as getting to this place had a lot to do with our relationship. So I will let me just kind of start at the beginning. Amber and I, like I said, she said this was sort of last minute because both of us, you know, I have my team call tomorrow night. She's like, I don't know what to. This is the kind of conversations we have on a daily basis. She's like, I really want to do something for my team that really is going to mean a lot, but I feel like sometimes I just run out of things to say. And I'm like, girl, I feel the same way. And I've got my team call tomorrow, Tuesday. So we said last minute today, we're like, well, let's team swap. Why don't I do your call? And then you come on mine tomorrow night and you do my call, because maybe what I have to say you guys haven't heard, and what she has to say my team hasn't heard. So then we were talking about topics, and I threw out a bunch of topics, and she's like, you know, just tell your story. And so I'm going to start at the beginning with my story, and then there's sort of a message and a moral to the story when I get to the end, and you'll see what it is. So anyway, so I will start at the beginning, but I will try not to bore you with like too many details. But in January of 2014, there I was a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling all 5 of my kiddos. Ages at that time, they were ages 3 to like 13. And, you know, like probably like a lot of you guys, just living kind of like mediocre, right? Like didn't really realize that low energy and not sleeping good and grabbing a Diet Coke at 3 o'clock, like thinking all of those things were normal. Because that's what you are when you're a mom. You're just tired, and that's what you do, and you're busy. So anyway, in January of 2014, I saw this Plexus post. Actually, it was a friend of mine from high school who went on Facebook and said, hey, my wife started this incredible home-based business. It's supplements that are really helping our family get healthy, and my wife has lost 35 pounds. I don't generally put this out there, but if anybody's looking for New Year's resolutions, I thought maybe you'd be interested. So I knew this guy, trusted this guy. He was a pretty cool guy. He just happened to be Andrew Gwynn, husband of Celeste Gwynn. I know, that's crazy town. But so I went to high school with Andrew. And so I reached out and I said, well, that sounds really great. So I hope your wife will tell me more. And of course, she's Celeste Gwynn in 2014. So she did. So we talked on the phone, and it wasn't, you know, I just felt like I didn't have a lot to lose, and it sounded really great. And I thought at that time I was going into Plexus really with weight loss in mind. I needed to lose about 25 pounds of baby weight. When you have a 3-year-old, you kind of can't use that excuse anymore. So I thought, great, if I could lose, 25, 35 pounds, start feeling a little better, I'll share with my friends. And heck, why not? It'd be pretty cool to make an extra $500 a month. Really, that was my goal. I was like, $500 a month, I'm there. Because I've been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. So I had nothing, you know, I hadn't really earned in a while. So I did that. So I started, and I wanted my husband to lose some weight also. So I convinced him to try the pink drink. It was like, I think I actually joined at the end of December. So we started Plexus on January 1st. So it was truly like, this is our New Year's resolution. We're going for it. You know, of course he was reluctant, skeptical, like most good husbands are. So it took some time to get him acquainted and adjusted and all that good stuff. So we're rolling. All right. So a couple months into it, we both are starting to feel good. We're starting to lose weight. I'm like, all right, this is great. I'm going to put it out there on Facebook. You know, I followed the model, started getting business, other moms were interested in what I was talking about. Other people wanted energy. Other people wanted to lose weight. Here we go. So now I've got this home-based business. It wasn't but a couple of months into it, was making that $500. And I thought, okay, maybe I should make my goal a little larger, right? So, okay, let's go for $1,000 a month. And then I got this wild idea that maybe I should start building a team, right? Because we all know when you first get started, you're like, what? What's a pay point? Like, what's a team? I don't know. I had never done any kind of multi-level marketing before. I did not get it. I had done sales before in my former life, so I understood how to do that. So I said, okay, I'm going to figure out this team thing. So I did that, started recruiting, building a team. And so from January to May, was able to start building my team and went from gold, I think like in April. And then the next month, like the very end of May, I went senior gold by the skin of my teeth. Okay. So I'm like, yes, I'm getting ready to turn 40. On June 24th that summer, I thought, this is it. I was kind of ready to send my kids back to school anyway. I thought, this is going to be mom's new thing. I'm going to just, 40 is going to be awesome. I'm going to blow it out of the water. I've got this new business. And by this time, I'm watching, and remember, Celeste Squint is my sponsor. So by that time, she had already gone diamond in like 6 months, right? And then I was on her second leg, and she was at that time, I think like senior gold or something. And so I'm looking at her, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, she's a stay-at-home mom. She's a soccer mom. Like, she's cool, you know, but she's not that much different from me. Like, that's what I'm looking at this girl. I'm like, you're doing what? You're making how much? Like, it just blew my mind. So I think from the very beginning, one thing that I had as a benefit was that belief, like to see somebody else being so successful and then seeing her other people be so successful. It was like, well, my gosh, if she can do it and they can do it, then I know that I can do it too. And just really kind of took on that mantra and attitude. Like, this is the best opportunity I've ever seen. Like, I can't even believe that stay-at-home moms are doing what they're doing in this Plexus business and feeling good, feeling healthy, being happy. So it was really exciting. All right. So just kind of building y'all up here. So between January and May, that was my story. I was ready to roll. Now during that time, as I was losing weight, I started noticing that one of my right breasts was not shrinking like the left one. And it was sort of a little bit troubling. So some months went by, and I finally went in and got the mammogram on June the 2nd, 2014. And I wasn't even out of the office before they had me sitting in front of Breast Care Navigator. And I'm looking around, and there's pink ribbons everywhere and inspirational quotes. And it felt like the Grim Reaper had just walked into the room. And they sat me down and they say, you need to go ahead and prepare yourself and your family for what is, we're pretty sure, like 99% sure, is a pretty serious breast cancer. So there I am, 39 years old. Okay. 5 children at home, like on top of the world, this awesome new business, building a team. The future was so incredibly bright on June the 1st. And remember, I was ready to celebrate my 40th birthday and blow it out of the water. So like my mindset on June the 1st, and then where my mindset was on June the 2nd, you're talking about complete earth-shattering stuff here. Okay, here I was. So with that, there I was. So, immediately, if anybody's ever been through it or walked through it before, it's immediately like get into the surgeon, get your biopsy, figure out what to do. We need to get you in treatment as soon as possible. And I did learn that it was initially diagnosed as a stage 2 breast cancer. They wanted to put me in chemo right away. That was going to be from July to October. I was going to be in chemo, and they were going to do surgery. And then I was going to do radiation because I was 39, and it was what they thought was a pretty aggressive breast cancer. So it was very serious. And so I had you guys, I just want you to understand this. So I had just barely by the skin of my teeth, like promoted to senior gold on May the 31st. So I had just gotten started in my business. It wasn't like I had a big team or had really dug in and understood. But when sort of the dust cleared and the fear, and the anger and all of those emotions that I was going through, not knowing what my life was going to look like, from that moment on, when all that kind of stuff settled, I remembered, I went back to, I was like, you know what? When it comes to Plexus, I remember the day I drew my line in the sand. There was a very distinct day that I had been listening to, I think it was Art Jonak, who's a network marketer. I was like, in that personal development mode, trying to gain everything I could. And he said, I'll never forget him saying this. He said, there will be things in your life that try to distract you. It's not a matter of if something comes to derail you. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. You're going to get derailed. And it might be a life situation. It might be a job loss. It might be a health condition. It might be a spouse that's not supportive. It might be a best friend that poo-poos what you're doing. You're going to get derailed. But what you've got to do is put your blinders on, and you have to make a decision to draw your line in the sand, to step over the line and go full speed ahead. And I remember in that moment hearing that and going, okay, I can do that. All right, I'm going to draw my line in the sand. I'm really going for this thing. I'm going to put my blinders on and I'm going full speed ahead. And so I reflected back on that and I said, you know, this is a pretty big distraction. And I don't think anybody would blame me if I said, forget this. I can't handle anything else. I've got to go do cancer. I got to go do all this treatment. I got to go, I got to go fight for my life. And all those things were true. But no, and I don't think, nobody would have thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe she gave up on her Plexus business. But it didn't matter. I just had already decided in my brain, I had already made a decision that I wanted to be successful and I wanted to take what I felt like was the best opportunity that I was ever going to get with my bachelor of, political science, and I never used it and didn't work for 10 years and was raising babies and didn't have anything interesting to put on my resume. Plus I didn't want to go out. I didn't really want to work outside the house. So I just made a decision to still go for it. And well, I'm going to tell you guys what that looked like in that season. Okay. That looked like all of a sudden I found myself, instead of at play dates and in PTA, doing all the fun homeschooling activities and being around moms all the time and talking to them about Plexus, I found myself in doctor's offices and I found myself with nurses and I found myself in hospitals getting Mediports. And so I made a very conscientious decision to say, well, you know what? I'm going to share where I'm placed. And if I'm placed in a doctor's office and I'm placed in front of a nurse or, a surgeon or whatever, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready to talk about Plexus. I'm going to be ready to tell them because they need to know about it. And so I did. And so I always had my catalogs and my samples and was ready to make a new Facebook friend. And so just sort of, that decision to say, I'll share where I'm placed. I can't change my circumstances, but I can choose to proceed as I was doing before. And so continued to do that and build throughout that summer. And I'll tell you, chemo, if you've never known anybody to go through it, makes you very sick, makes you feel really bad. And so I figured out a way to work around it. So I knew if I was going to get chemo on Tuesday, I was going to feel okay Wednesday and Thursday. And so Friday through Sunday, I was going to feel like I had the flu or a really, really bad hangover and I wasn't going to get a whole lot done. So I would work really hard on Wednesday and Thursday of that week. And then I would settle down and be sick and be taken care of. Then come Monday, I would start to feel better. And then I would have 2 weeks before my next chemo. So I knew that if I, by the second week, like the weekend before my chemo, which was on Tuesday, I knew that was going to be my best time. I was going to feel my very best. If I needed to do a training for my team, or I needed to do a sip and see, or I needed to do something, that was going to be how I was going to schedule it. It was going to be then, because I knew that, I could feel better. There was lots of things I wasn't able to do, wasn't able to be consistent about team calls or appointments or those kinds of things. So did my business take a hit? Absolutely. How can you not take some kind of a hit? I was in a very strong momentum mode prior to June the 2nd, which kind of helps. I mean, it's always good to be in momentum, but did it hit a wall? Sure it did, because, but it didn't, it was a conscientious decision to say, you know what? Plus I'm a little bit, I guess somewhere in my brain too, I thought, I'm not going to let cancer take this away from me. I had a dream. I still have that dream. I'm going all the way. I will drive that Lexus. I will go to Hawaii. I'm going all the way, and cancer sure as heck isn't going to take it. So there was a little bit of that going on in my spirit, honestly. And so that honestly was a good motivator. It became part of my why to say, forget this, I'm going. So anyway, to kind of fast forward the story a little bit, finished out all of the treatments, radiation, all of that good stuff. And then I did, by the time I got through all of that, the first of the year in like I said, at that point it would have been 2015, my business got stuck. Then that's pretty much when Amber and a lot of them came into my life. So I found that, because of the things I wasn't able to do, my team, I needed to really deport and create some team culture and unite them, and to kind of turn at that point what was sort of becoming a sinking ship as started to sort of tumble backward, and there wasn't that momentum anymore, and all of a sudden. And so in that season said, okay, I need to first of all pour into personal development. That's generally what needs to happen when you get into a stuck season, right, Amber? You go, okay, let me go look in the mirror. What is about me needs to change for me to raise my leadership lid and get to be where I needed to be. By that point, I had ranked to senior ruby. So I was in a senior ruby stuck land. So anyway, moving forward, started to do that personal development, to take some different action steps to start creating a team culture that was united and exciting. And then needing to find those sidelines like Amber and Amy and Julie, and a lot of them that are still very, very good friends. So finding those people to surround myself with that also had the same belief system and the same dream, and they wanted the same things. And so I'm sharing all of this, and I hope, as I'm sharing, maybe you're thinking in your mind, well, maybe I could do that. Personal development, look in the mirror, go find a sideline. If you're feeling like in your business that you're in a place of, I don't really know what else to do, these are some ideas. And I will tell you from experience that they make all the difference. They really make all the difference. And so anyway, fast forward, we go Emerald in December 31st, 2015. And I will tell you guys this is another thing about speaking life and speaking what you want into your life. I decided that all of my past, Freedom 2015 was like my motto. Because I was like, in 2015, I'm going Emerald. Because for me, that was the place of the income and the perks and all of it. I felt like that was truly a place for me and my family. Like, oh my gosh, if I can make that kind of money and do that for my family, we'll be in a whole different place of freedom for my husband's job, our time freedom, all of it. So I changed all my passcodes for everything to Freedom 2015. They're not that anymore, so you can't hack me, guys. Ha ha. No, just kidding. No. So now they have something to do with Diamond 2018. So anyway, and do those affirmations and wrote them on the wall and everything that I wanted. So that stuff matters. So I just thought, wow, how crazy is that? How crazy is it that Freedom 2015 became my sort of theme, and then on December 31st, 2015. At 11 o'clock at night, that's when I actually got the 1,500 points to go to Emerald, right? That's, to me, is oh my God, are you serious? That's amazing, God, you're so cool, to do that. So then move into 2016. All right, let's do this. My team's in full momentum. We're rolling. I had some business builders. I'm back. I'm healthy. My scans were clean at that point. I felt like this is it. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm finally ready, health-wise, energy-wise, everything to really move forward. And my business did. I was in great momentum. In May of 2016, is that right? Yeah. Got to 2,850 points. That's this close to Sapphire. And I thought, this is it. I don't have to wait anymore. This is what's going on in my head. I waited so long for Emerald. Now we're just going to roll right to the top. So then I go to in June of 2016, I go to convention. I'm on top of the world, ready to come home and hit it. Well, I had to go in about 3 days after that Las Vegas convention to my surgeon, and she found an M&M-sized lump in the original breast where I had breast cancer in the skin fold that had been radiated, okay? And she says, I think we need to take that out. We need to check that out and just make sure. I'm just a little worried. So she takes it out, outpatient. She comes back in and she's like, yeah, cancer's back. So there I am after all that in June of 2016. And I've got cancer's back. I find myself now in June again of my birthday. I think I'm ready to roll at 40. I think at that point I was 41, maybe 42. I don't know. But on my birthday, I go in to get scans to find out if my cancer had spread. Sure enough, I'm now stage 4 metastatic. So in June of 2014 or 2016, that was what happened. And I will tell you that one hit me harder than June of 2014. Because in June of 2014, I was 39, stage 2. I can do this. I can do a hard year. I can pursue this. In June of 2016, I'm looking at dying on my 5 children. And that's the God honest truth. That is what the reality that smacked me right between the eyes. This is no joke. This is some serious stuff. And so at that point I said, you know what, I'm tapping out. I cannot do this anymore. I have got to focus on whatever I need to be focused on, my health, my family, God, prayer, whatever. So from June, honestly, until September, I did not work my business. I just checked out. And at that point, nobody faulted me for that either. In that season, that became a very special season for me of prayer time, of really seeking God's wisdom and clarity and guidance about what my treatment plan should look like and how I should proceed with my health. And so that's like a whole nother story. If any of you guys are my friends on Facebook, you might have seen, I kind of like share my healing journey a lot through video and what I'm doing. Decided to go only through what I say is God confidence through prayer, and what God led me to do was to go on a natural healing journey and say, you know what, I'm not doing the chemo, the radiation, and all that crazy stuff that I did for the last year and a half that put me from stage 2 to stage 4. But I went on a natural healing journey and really focused on that. So I share that in the plexus because I didn't work for months. And of course, what happens when you don't work for months? Your business goes backwards. I mean, it's just inevitable. You can't really take your hands off your business no matter where you are. It always needs you. And that's okay because we get paid really well. And that's something we always have to remember. It's not like, oh, I get to a spot and then I bail. I mean, I guess you could, but it's inevitable that the drain, that your business is gonna. So anyway, so I had a spiraling backwards. I ended up going to Hawaii that year. And after Hawaii, I just sort of had some clarity and thought, okay, I'm going to go on this natural healing journey. I'm going to get better. I'm confident. Just like I believed that I was going to have Freedom 2015 and go Emerald. At that point, I believed I'm going to get well and God's going to heal me. But I'm going to do everything that I can do to make that happen. And so the sort of the same philosophy that I use in my Plexus business, pray like everything depends on God, work like everything depends on me. And that's always been my motto. I transferred that to my health journey. I'm going to pray like everything depends on God, but I'm going to work my hiney off to do everything I can do to make my body the healthiest it can be to survive and to heal and to thrive with cancer. But when I came back from Hawaii, I realized there were so many people on my team that wanted and deserved to have the opportunity to be successful, to get to Hawaii, to have that financial freedom, to have all of these blessings that I felt like I had. And so if I wasn't working, then I was not in a place where I'm giving that to them. And so made a decision when I got back from Hawaii that I really wanted the people who wanted on my team to really help them and teach them and guide them and support them. And so started working my business again, really that October. And really have been rebuilding for the last year. I mean, that's really where I've been. I'm not back to my 2850 points. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. Getting there, I mean, breaking the 2000 mark, which is great, but not there yet. And so it's been a year of balance for me, balancing health, balancing family, balancing those priorities, and then also balancing how does Plexus work into all of that. So it sort of works synergistically together. So it's a very good, full, fulfilling journey in all areas. So that's sort of where I am now, working on getting to Sapphire, and I have no doubt, and we will get to diamonds. There will be a day that I have that diamond documentary. And I'll get to share this story, and I'll get to give, mad kudos to my team and mad props to them for sticking by me through all of this. But one thing that people on my team know, that if you're on my team, you don't get to make excuses. And so that's sort of the moral to the story is like, anybody can be successful in this business. There's no personality type. There's no, have a certain network. There's no, you don't have to have a certain education or a certain amount of money, or the playing field is so even. And that's what's beautiful about network marketing and especially about Plexus because of, the opportunity that they give us, and they give us an incredible compensation plan. So it's like second to none. And so there's really no reason everybody can do this. And so what is the difference between somebody that makes it all the way to diamond and somebody that, gets to gold and just says, I just can't, just forget it, right? I mean, unfortunately, I've seen so many really talented, awesome people do that. They get to gold or senior goals and they just get stuck and they get frustrated and it's not working for them anymore. And they're like, I'll go do something else. Okay. So what's the difference? And so just a few things that I want you guys to kind of walk away with is you can be successful even against the odds. I think that if any, I hope that my story, it kind of shows that against the odds, you know, cancer twice and tumbling backwards and getting stuck and not working and doing all of those things. But I'm still here and still working and still kind of pulling up the bootstraps and saying it's okay because we're going to just keep moving forward. So I believe in my whole heart that success is a decision. It's not by luck. It's not by chance. It's not because of a certain personality type or whatever. It's a decision that you make. It's the line that you draw on the sand. It's the blinders that you put on and move, and you just move forward. And when you get into a place that's stuck, that you're not sure, you know, I don't know if this is working for me. That's when you do something different. That's when you look in the mirror and go, wait a minute, is it me? You know, am I blaming others? Am I blaming my team? Am I blaming that I can't get business builders? You know, am I blaming the back office? Am I blaming, you know, like that's when you go, no, because those are excuses. And the only person that's believing them is me, myself. And so it's like, look in the mirror and then pour into that personal development first. So you figure out what it is about me that I might need to tweak or change or move to kind of raise the lid of my business, raise my leadership lid, raise my, you know, to change the law, the attraction. You know, I love John Maxwell, so I use a lot of his stuff. To me, the 21 Laws of Leadership changed my business. If you've never read that or poured into that, highly recommend it. I'm sure you have. Amber's so good about personal development on her team. But it's, for me, I think all of John Maxwell stuff, it just rocks. Another thing, you know, as far as just maybe something you could take away from this is share where you are. So maybe, you know, you've gotten put in a like, or, you know, a job loss, or when you know, I'm no longer with moms, but I'm with doctors. It's like, that's wherever we are, that's where we share. And God's placed us there for a reason. And there's people in that space that need to know about Plexus. I mean, Plexus is, we know, I mean, I know that you all are here and you have 100% belief in the products, because if you didn't, you probably wouldn't be on this call. And so you got to remember to just passionately share, you know, in the Walmart line, and share with your family, whoever. You just got to be ready to really step out of that comfort zone and share. Another thing that I love, and just kind of a quote that I'll leave you guys with, is behave your way to success. So if you're sitting here like, you know, if you ever think to yourself, well, I'm just a silver, so, you know, it probably doesn't really matter if I show up for the team call. I'm just halfway to gold. So I don't really, you know, I know that Amber is hosting a sip and see or an event, but nobody's going to really care if I'm there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't really need to do that because I'm just a silver. Yeah, no, we can't say those kinds of things. If you have the belief and you have the dream and the vision and the why, and you say, I want to be a diamond, I want to be a jewel, I want to get there, then then take on, act that way. Behave your way to success. And so you have to think, you question, you say, you know what? When I'm a diamond, okay, I'm not a silver, I'm a diamond. Would a diamond show up for the team call? Yes. Would a diamond show up for the training? Yes. Would a diamond show up for that sip and see and invite everybody she can? Yes, she would. And so that's how we have to be. That's the kind of behavior that we take on. And when we do that, we're thinking like we're successful. We become it. It becomes us. And so that one is really, for me, I share that a lot with my team. Behave your way to success. And I don't want to hear excuses. Do not give me an excuse of why you can't show up or why you can't come. The only person that believes you is you. Nobody else does. So, and then the last thing I'll just leave you guys with, I know you already know this, but always be your own rock star. Just be your own rock star, whether you're just getting started or you're all, you know, I mean, diamonds too, we need to always be thinking in terms of like, how many people can I bring on board? How many people can I personally recruit? How can I get my PV, you know, 1,500, 2,000? Never sitting back and just thinking, oh, well, I've got a builder. and letting other people do the work. So really, always having that, let me be the rock star on my team. And what happens when you're the one showing up and you're the one being successful on your team, you don't have to say anything. You're leading by example. And then your team will then want to follow you, and they'll listen and they'll believe you because you're showing them how it's done. And it's it will ignite your team, and you will get momentum on your team by being that example better than anything you could possibly say or the best IP80 challenge in the world. Do it and be the example. And that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you guys. Those are my notes on my favorite quotes. That's the stuff my team hears me say all the time that they're tired of me hearing. But I thought maybe you might sound new to you.
Dawn, you're awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Isn't she amazing? Isn't she awesome? I love Dawn. Hang on. How do I get it out of? Okay, wait. There we go. So good. A couple things I wanted to point out that stood out to me, Dawn, is basically you said you shared where you were placed. And guys, think of questions because we're going to hold her hostage for a couple minutes. You guys can pick her brain. So think of your questions. But real quick, so you said you shared where you were placed. And for you, obviously, your whole, circle of influence grew in a different area because of where you were and what you were going through. But that shows like how you made a decision to be intentional. And what I love about that is like, it made you almost get outside of yourself and what you were going through. Like you were going through something so hard that it would have been completely normal to like put your blinders on and be focused on yourself, which is so normal in that season of what you went through. But you still saw that you had a gift to share with people. You know what I mean? And that like almost probably like was something that helped you on your journey get through it, knowing like I can't shut up. Like I've got people to talk to.
Well, it did. It kind of helped deflect and not focus on feel sorry for myself too. It was Plexus has always been fun for me. I've always enjoyed it and had a really good time with it. So why not go, have some fun while you're sitting there getting chemo pumped into your veins. And yeah, I did. I met a couple girls that joined my team that were going through chemo with me, and got a couple nurses to become customers, and they're still Facebook friends. And got really bold one time and took some Slim to my surgeon, and she never ordered from me, but she tried it at least.
Wow.
At least she'd heard of it. And of course, and my health testimony is a whole nother call. Like I could talk about how the products helped me. But absolutely, they were, first of all, approved by my doctors. Otherwise, although I knew enough about the products that even if they were like, no, you can't do that, I would still have done it because I just know that they're good. I mean, really, they build your immune system. They're plant-based. They're good. They're clean. And now that I'm on a natural healing journey, and I have a doctor that's really embraces natural healing. I mean, he loves our products. He actually recommends them. A lot of our stuff to his patients, in addition to lots of other stuff. So anyway.
I love it. Well, and also so I know we had talked about this one time before, but you guys know, like, I don't believe in coincidences. Like, I feel like, just tune in, and I'm not perfect at it, but when we just like let the Lord lead in areas, like he always shows up and does exactly what we need to do. And Dawn, like Tanya, right? Tanya, she's the one who told you. So there's an emerald, Tanya. So this is the funny story. I don't know if I ever told you this, Dawn, but we were in Hawaii in 2016. Obi and it was Kona. Obi and I had just gotten, we went and did that like the volcano thing. And like we were riding bikes. I'm pregnant with Isaiah. We're riding bikes on this volcano, which sounds super awesome when you're pregnant. But anyway, we didn't see anyone the whole time because we went in the middle of the day to a volcano to ride bikes. Like that's kind of dumb because it was so hot. Anyway, so we're going back to the parking lot. There was like no one around us at all. There's this one couple standing outside their car, and they're just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are they with Plexus? Are they not? Like, I don't know. And she's just talking to me like she knows me. And I'm like, who is this lady? Well, anyway, she introduced herself. Her name was Tanya, and she's an emerald with Plexus, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I really like this girl. Like, she's just talking to me like she knows me. Well, then Dawn and I had talked like after the fact, and Tanya is the one that connected with Dawn, like after Tanya and I had met, and told Dawn, you can share the rest, but like connected her with her natural health doctor. Like, had you not been on the Emerald Extravaganza, because I know you weren't going to go, you were like this close to not.
Oh, that's a whole crazy story. I hope I don't I hope I don't run out of battery here. I'm charging this thing and it just kind of came up. I think this iPad's sucking more than the charger's giving.
Oh, yeah.
Lose me, that's why. Sorry, but that's why I'm sitting in my kitchen plugged in. No, that's an incredible story. I was getting prayed over. That's one thing. Plexus, it's so cool when you got to get to Hawaii, y'all. It's so cool. The Thursday night of Hawaii, we do a big prayer circle and baptisms in the Pacific. It's so incredible. So I was there doing that. They got me in the middle of a prayer circle, laid hands on me. And I wasn't going to go to Kona because I was going to go to Mexico for treatment because I'd already decided I was not doing the conventional route. So I was supposed to be in Mexico in September. But about 2 weeks before the trip, I was in a really deep prayer and sort of meditation and listening to the Lord. And I heard him say very audibly to me, you need to go to Hawaii. You need to go to Hawaii and put Mexico on the back burner. And if I'd been in my car listening to music, I would have thought, well, yeah, because you just want to go to Hawaii, Dawn. Hello. But I wasn't. I knew the space I was in. So I said, okay, God, we'll go. So we go. While I'm there, I'm in this prayer circle. They lay hands on me. Of course, I'm like, this is healing. I'm crying. I come out of the circle. I hear my name called, Dawn, where's Dawn Andrews? This girl comes over to me who I'd never met before. She says, I want to tell you about this doctor who's in my hometown who I really think can help you. I really just feel really led to tell you about this doctor. And at the time, remember, I was ready to go to Mexico for an entire month and spend out really, it's not a cheap thing to do that. And leave my kids for a month and go by myself because my husband was going to stay home. And so I'm like, okay, well, that sounds, she tells me about him. I'm like, well, where is he? I'm like, ready to get on the plane. Like, where's your hometown? And she says, well, I live in Charlottesville. And I went, Virginia? What? She said, yeah, I live in Virginia. So Charlottesville, Virginia is 2.5 hours from my house. So, that just gives me chills, y'all. Like, to me, that is just the most perfect God, like way more creative than we could ever be story. He takes me all the way across the world to Kona to put me in a prayer circle to meet this girl to tell me about a doctor who's 2.5 hours from my house who ends up what I call is my angel doctor. I'm actually going there tomorrow. I go there every other week to see him. And he's got me on a natural healing plan. We do all kinds of crazy stuff. If you're not my friend on Facebook, follow because I share all my crazy stuff that I do. You can follow me and you'll see. But anyway, and so I've gone in the last year from having very, very active cancer cells and a very aggressive tumor cells that were in 34 was the actual number, which was super high. So I just found out that my circulating cancer cells now are at a 0 after 1 year of natural healing. Awesome. So it was like, we just found this out a couple weeks ago. So this year of really, grinding it out, trusting the Lord, going on this natural healing journey, doing all the juicing and all of the stuff it's working. So anyway, so that's really good. A good part of the story.
It's so awesome. And what I love about this journey, and you guys know I love this part, it's like we can't see it. We like think we know why we're on this journey, time freedom, financial freedom, blah, 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 those are all great things. But it's like God has a very specific, a bigger purpose than we even know. And like Dawn's story, like Plexus has basically given her a bigger platform than she would have had without Plexus. And God is able to use her story for natural healing and like leaning into him on these kinds of things to bless so many other people that need it. So I love that about this opportunity is it expands your platform to be a blessing that most stay-at-home moms with 5 kids.
It's so much bigger than us, right? It's just so much bigger than us.
Yes.
And I think part of my healing is being a part of the health and happiness community.
Yeah.
This is a really incredible group of people that are they're some of the best. They're the best, as far as I'm concerned, the best people on the planet. Yeah. And the more you're involved with Plexus and the more you get to go to these trips and leadership, and I know all of you here are ready and you're going to get to Hawaii and you get to really meet everyone. It'll just bless you in so many ways with the relationship. So it's worth it to add it to your why, to have those kinds of relationships and people in your life that are just so positive.
And one more thing I want to point out. Sorry, guys, this is a longer huddle than usual, but you guys, so obviously financial freedom is incredible, and that's been a huge blessing for Dawn and her family. But during her journey, like the time freedom aspect is huge, you guys. Like Dawn said, last June through September, she was basically. I mean, I remember she got on an RV and they were like in Maine, like off the grid with her family, with her kids, with her husband, and they were able to just have that time that they needed as a family. Her husband, you know, Robert, love him so much. He wasn't having to stress about, oh my God, I need to be at work. Who's going to take her to her appointments? You know, who's going to take care of the kids? Like this opportunity has been a huge blessing on this journey, as hard as it's been for them. Like that time freedom aspect, that her husband has been able to be with her at any point or be with the kids at any point, no questions asked. Like that in and of itself is incredible what we have in our hands, you guys. So
Yeah,
wow.
and we're able to. That was when I found out that I was metastatic and I didn't know. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they're not really giving me that much time. I'll be honest with you guys. With when you get to stage 4 metastatic, it's like 18 to 24 months. And then they're like, I don't know what's gonna happen to you. So it's not a real. It's really kind of scary. But that was something I wanted to do. I said, let's just get the family together. Let's get an RV. We'll all travel. We'll just go have fun together and be together and make memories. And if it hadn't been for my Plexus income, we could have never done that. I mean, we bought that RV with a Plexus income. So that's just exciting. Like, those are the kinds of things and I never in a million years in 2014, when I started this and wanted $500 a month, but if I have ever imagined I would have ever been, first of all, in that position, you know, in this square, because at that point, I was just hanging out, loving life, being a stay-at-home mom. You know, I didn't know that just a few months down the road, everything was going to change. But to have that financial freedom to be able to do something like that, I mean, really, what a gift. So get excited. I mean, I'm sure you're all in different places in your business, and maybe you're just getting started, maybe you've been doing it a little while. And there's no doubt that the Plexus, the company, we've run it. We've had some issues. We've had some bumps with back office changes and corporate staff changing and all of those things. And but it's worth it. It's worth pushing through and pushing all that stuff aside and staying really focused on what this really means. And it's way bigger than us.
Love it. Well, guys, does anyone have any questions for Dawn? Does anyone have a question that they want to ask? If you do, unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Anyone?
I had one. I was curious about what the products were doing for you at this time. And I know you said that was a whole nother story. So if you have that written down somewhere or you've shared that somewhere else, I would love to hear that part of it. Cause for me, yeah, I'm a mom and I take and I have energy every day, but I can only share that with my people so many times before they're like, yeah, great. Plexus gives you energy. What, what else do you got? So if there's other stories out there like that, where it was look at this woman who still managed to take all this stuff and her doctors okayed all this stuff, while all this was happening. So I would love to see what the products actually did for you while you were going through all this.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is the immune system. And I'll just kind of leave it when you're talking about a disease like cancer, but any major illness or disease, it's an immune deficiency is how it starts, when your body just doesn't have the capacity to be able to fight off the cells, the mutating cells. So our products are targeting and building the immune system in such a way that so we need that. So the way that I think of the Plexus products at this point in my journey is it's really a first line of defense for every person that I meet, to say, you need to be doing this so you don't get in this position. Because if I had understood how important it was to have a strong immune system and a healthy gut back in probably 2010, which is probably when I started breaking down, and probably cancer took root. If I had that first line of defense then, if I'd been thinking about and understood the importance of the immune system and gut health then, I wouldn't be in this position now. And so that's really the message that you can carry Do I have it written down that maybe I should just I'm better at videos, so I just do a video about it and share. But that's really important. And so that's what we do. That's what Plexus is doing. It's that gut health is so, so huge. And that's really everything that I do and my doctor does. Now I take Plexus supplements plus about 30 different ones. Like I actually do, if you go to my timeline, I have a video about all the stuff I do. And it's a lot of stuff. Plexus, just a few, but it's all pretty much geared towards that. It's geared to the immune system and gut health. And so if you can just get really excited about that and sharing that with people and how important it is. And I think we're going to see as science sort of evolves and becomes and medicine evolves, we're going to really start seeing more of that and doctors really understanding how important it is. Yeah.
Love that. Yes, you guys. I know it's funny. I feel like I don't talk about like the X factor enough, you know, and these products are huge for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. X factor is and I'll share this with you guys. I'm sure you'll run into people all the time that have autoimmune deficiencies or diseases, especially thyroid. Women think that there's so many women have thyroid issues. And I was diagnosed with thyroid, I think in 2007. And I just said, oh, well, why do I have it? We don't really know. It happens to women. You know, it happens. Here, take this pill, take this Synthroid for the rest of your life and regulate your thyroid. And I was like, really? Okay. And I never questioned it further. What I've learned now, that was a precursor. When you have an autoimmune disease, that is a precursor. That is your body screaming at you going, something's not right. This isn't good. So when women have thyroid, that is a precursor. It means that their immune system is breaking down. They're not getting the minerals and the nutrients that they need. Their thyroid is not functioning properly. Their estrogen levels are probably not right. So their hormones are out of balance and out of whack. That's a perfect storm for a hormone cancer, like ovarian cancer, breast cancer. I mean, I know you all probably know many, many women in your life that have been diagnosed with it. That's important to know. That's important information for us to be sharing with people, right? They need to understand that don't just take a Synthroid pill every day and think you're going to be okay. You've got to get to the root cause of what's causing the deficiency and the breakdown. And if we're not getting to the root, then you could possibly, and not to be, it's not a scare tactic, but I know that in my heart that was my body telling me in 2007, something's not right and it needs to be fixed, and it wasn't fixed. So that's what we do as Plexus ambassadors. We offer something, that first line of defense, to help people fix that. So yeah, that X factor is really important for women. It has all the minerals and the nutrients and the vitamins that you need to function properly, that you're not going to get in your foods, that you're not getting in your day-to-day. So yeah, it's really important. Super important.
Yes.
It's not just a vitamin, let's just take vitamins. No, it's especially moms. I think that's important too, because when I had a lot of babies. I had 5 babies and they were back to back, and I nursed them all. I didn't get a lot of sleep. So there was a lot of factors, but women don't realize how important it is to be taking vitamins, to be restoring their nutrients that the babies have taken from them. Babies take what they need, then they leave moms sometimes sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like me. I was eating dinner tonight and Izzy's nursing while I'm eating dinner. I'm like, can I consume calories without you taking them from me the second I'm eating them? So funny. But that's the thing, as women, we tend to put ourselves last on the, until something gets our attention with our health. It doesn't have to be as drastic as that, but yeah, so true. Does anyone else have any questions for Dawn?
Somebody said, yeah, make a video, that would be helpful. So I do need to, I'm always wondering, I'm like, there's so many things that go on in my head that I could talk about. So it's good for you guys to give me ideas. Just focus on this thing and do a video about that thing. That will be helpful.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. And Dawn, thank you. Love your story. And
thanks for having me.
It's so awesome. All right. Well, love you guys. Mwah. Have a blessed night, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Dawn.
See ya. Bye.